Hi, if you take Indian history, we have proper records and evidences for over 2000 years. But if you take American history, it's only like 400 or 500 years for which we have proper evidences for. Why is that so? And why are the Native Americans are known as Red Indians? And why are the group of islands between North America and South America are called West Indies? What's the connection between India or Indians between and that part of the world? So let's have a look at this in this video. Human civilization in the American landmass started over 17,000 years ago, and that's because during those days the landmass on this planet was slightly different. For example, North America and Alaska were connected through land. So people from Central Asia and Southeast Asia, they the hunters, gatherers, and farmers, they traveled, they went to the American landmass and settled there as tribes. Those are called Native Americans, and this is the situation before 17,000 years. Now, if you fast forward to 12th or 13th century, the world was greatly different. So India was the major marketing hub for gold. It was a major market for gold and jewelry. So people from Europe and other countries, they bring along with them the good stuff from their countries and they exchange here for gold. So this was all possible through Silk Route. It's a popular word if you paid attention to your history classes. So that was going on, and what happened all of a sudden is that Ottoman Empire started to grow rapidly, and they almost captured almost all the parts of the Silk Route. And what happened, Europeans no more were able to travel through the route and actually trade with India and make good money. And this was a serious issue because those days trade was the major contributing factor for European economy. So what happened? What did Europeans do? They started to take the alternative route, which is the seaways. So this was in 13th century, and this exploring of other parts of the world through seaways, this was actually called as Age of Discovery. So what European nations do is they equip their army, they equip their navy very well, and they take weapons and infrastructure and stuff like that along with them in the ships, and they go to remote islands, remote parts of the world where they have not visited before. They colonize that, they rule that, and they make that as a trade hub. So this was going on. This is how Europeans started to expand from their place. So but the ultimate aim was to find a sea route to India. So what happened is, one more interesting belief during those days among the Christianity group is that Earth was flat, right? But there were few people who are a bit technical, who are a bit scientific, and they actually believed that Earth was spherical. So one among them was Christopher Columbus. So what he thought was, why struggle so much to go to India? Earth is round after all. So I'll start sailing west, I'll go around the world, and I'll end up in the east side of India. Simple, right? So he took a ship and started sailing towards the west of Europe. He didn't reach India, unfortunately. He landed somewhere in between North America and South America in a group of islands, and then he named them West Indies, and that's how we got the name. And the people he saw over there, he named them Red Indians, and that's how we got the name Red Indians. 5 years after Columbus left for the sail, there was a person called Vasco da Gama. He actually found the route to India by going around Africa, and he somehow landed in the Calicut, which is in Kerala, in current days India. Only after Vasco da Gama landing in actual India, they came to know that Columbus went somewhere else, and he accidentally discovered an unknown landmass, which happens to be so huge, which happens to be a huge market for whatever they were doing at that time. All right, so the Europeans got an entirely new world to ensure. So all these Europeans started to move to the American landmass, and along with them, they took with them their infrastructure, their technology, their government rules and regulations, and along with them also they took with them the diseases which they had in Europe. So what's the problem with that? When they landed in America, the Native Americans over there, they did not have any immunity for these diseases. Think about it. Think about it, because those Native Indians never traveled to the other part of the world. So they were completely isolated. Their biological systems would have been slightly even different, and they didn't have immunity for the diseases these Europeans carried over with them. So those diseases started to kill these people, and the two major diseases that wiped out almost the entire population of Native Americans were measles and chickenpox. Few group of scholars claim that the Red Indians, the Native Americans, actually accidentally died because of the diseases, but few group of scholars they claim that these Europeans actually spread those diseases via food and via clothes and things like that. Both could be true, we don't know, but the fact was that the the Native American population was almost completely wiped out. For example, if I have to give you some numbers, in the early days, like 5,000, 10,000 years ago, it was estimated that about 1 crore of Red Indians were living in that landmass. But in 1890, when they calculated, according to some calculation, it was only 2.5 lakhs, like 250,000 Red Indians or Native Americans were actually present. And that's how Europeans went to the American landmass and they captured America. So if this is how it has been, you might ask the question, why do Americans celebrate Independence Day? So what is that Independence Day for? Who actually got independence from whom? Is it the same as India? It's actually not the same as India. In India, we celebrate Independence Day because we got freedom from the British. Like the Native Indians fought for independence and they sent the British out, the Europeans out. But in America, it was quite a different story. The Native Americans were almost non-existent. So who was fighting with whom actually? I told you, right, early days, those Europeans went and colonized the American landmass. Those people, those Europeans who colonized the landmass and living there, they fought against the England Queen, the British rule, and they got actually freedom from that rule, the British rule. So that's what they claim as independence. So now you know everything and how the term Indians appeared in the other side of the world, and that's about it. So if you love this content, please subscribe to the video and see you in the next one.